Welcome back. Last time you got it installed and ran your first session. Let's do a quick recap so we're all on the same page. Then we'll dive into how this thing actually works under the hood. You installed it with the native installer. That's the curl command. That's the recommended path. Homebrew and Wing It work too, but the native one auto-updates in the background. The free plan doesn't cut it. You need at least Pro at $20 a month. Think of it as the cost of a power tool. The return on that is huge. One-time sign-in. Your browser opens, you authenticate, credentials get saved locally. After that, you never think about it again. Always navigate into your project folder first. Then run in it to create the instruction file. That file is what gives it memory across sessions. And verify with version and doctor. If the native installer picked it up, updates happen silently in the background. No action needed on your end. If this video helped you learn Claude Code, please give it a like and subscribe. Here's the question everyone asks. What makes this different from the web chat? The answer is it doesn't just talk, it does things. Think of a chef in a kitchen. The chef doesn't describe the recipe to you. They pick up a knife, chop the onions, turn on the stove, and cook. The brain is the model. The kitchen equipment is the tools. The kitchen itself, with its safety rules and pantry, that's the harness. The chef reads the order, decides what to do, cooks, tastes, and adjusts. That cycle repeats until the dish is done. That's the agentic loop. It's what turns a chatbot into an agent. Let's break that loop into 4 phases. First, gather context. It reads files, searches for relevant code, explores the project. Second, take action. It edits source code, creates files, executes commands. Third, verify. It reruns the tests, checks the output, confirms the fix worked. Fourth, respond. It reports the result back to you. If verification fails, it loops back to gathering more context. A simple question might only need phase 1. A complex refactor cycles through all 4 dozens of times. And here's the key. You can interrupt at any point. See it going the wrong direction? Type a correction and press enter. It stops immediately. Let's watch the loop in action. You tell it to fix an expired card bug. It searches the codebase for the word expired. It finds the file. It reads the validator. It spots the issue, a time zone comparison. It edits the file and asks your permission. You approve. It runs the tests. 12 pass, 0 fail. Done. That's the whole loop in one shot. grep to find, read to understand, edit to fix, bash to verify. All without leaving your terminal. And every step along the way, it shows you exactly what it's doing. So what makes all of that possible? It comes down to different types of capabilities. Let me walk you through each one. First up, working with files. It can read any file in your project, write new ones from scratch, and edit existing ones line by line. This is how it touches your codebase. Second, finding things. Glob finds files by name pattern. grep searches inside files for specific text. Together, they let it navigate any code base fast. Third, running commands. This is where it gets powerful. Bash lets it run any shell command, start servers, run tests, use Git, install packages. Full terminal access. Fourth, reaching outside your machine. Web search for general knowledge. Web fetch to pull down specific pages. This is how it accesses documentation and external resources. Fifth, coordination. Agents spawn subagents with their own context. Ask user question lets it check with you. Task create tracks progress. This is how it manages complex multi-step work. Without these capabilities, it can only talk. With them, it can act on your entire code base autonomously. Now let's talk brains. There are 3 models plus a hybrid. Sonnet 4.6 is the default, balanced coding and reasoning, fast, covers 90% of daily work. Opus 4.6 is the deepest thinker, best for architecture decisions and complex bugs, but slower. Haiku 4.5 is the speed demon, simple tasks, exploration, quick lookups. And OpusPlan is a hybrid. Opus plans the approach, Sonnet executes it. You switch between them anytime with /model. The key takeaway: match the model to the task. Opus is overkill for a one-line fix. Haiku can't handle a complex refactor. Sonnet is your daily driver. Here's the bottleneck that catches everyone. Think of the context window as a desk. It holds everything the model can see right now: your messages, file contents, command outputs, your instruction file, auto memory. The desk is finite. At startup it's tidy, just the instruction file and memory notes. As you work, file reads and command outputs pile up. When the desk fills, auto-compaction kicks in. It summarizes older content to free space. When quality drops, it forgets instructions, repeats itself. Here's what to do. Run /context to see what's eating space. Run /compact focus on your current task to free room. Use /rewind to go back to a clean state. Or delegate research to subagents. They get their own fresh desks. Lock this in. Put critical instructions in your instruction file, not in conversation. The file survives compaction. Conversation history might not. Now that you know the right way, let's talk about the wrong way. These 3 mistakes waste more time than anything else I see from new users. Mistake number 1. Treating it like a conversation partner. You only ask questions and never ask it to do anything. You miss the entire point. It can edit code, run tests, create files. Instead, ask it to do things. Say fix this, add a test, refactor this function. That's what makes it an agent. Mistake number 2. Micromanaging every step. You tell it exactly which file to open and which line to change. That's you doing the thinking. Instead, delegate the how. Say fix the auth bug in the payments folder. Let it figure out the approach. It's better at that than you'd expect. Mistake number 3. Watching it go the wrong direction and waiting for it to finish. That wastes time and tokens. The moment you see a wrong turn, interrupt. Type a correction and press enter. It stops immediately and adjusts. There's no penalty for interrupting. Here are 3 more that catch people off guard. Especially the last one. It's the most common way to lose work. Mistake number 4. Assuming it remembers what happened yesterday. Every time you start a new session, it starts from scratch. No memory of past conversations. Instead, put persistent context in your instruction file. And if you need to pick up where you left off, use the -c flag to resume a previous session. Mistake number 5. Using the same model for everything. Opus is a sledgehammer for a nail. Haiku is a hammer for a sledgehammer job. Instead, match the model to the complexity. Switch with /model. Sonnet for daily work. Opus for hard problems, Haiku for quick lookups. Mistake number 6. The silent killer, ignoring the context window. Quality degrades without warning. It forgets earlier instructions, repeats itself, makes inconsistent edits. Instead, monitor with /context. When it starts degrading, run /compact. This is the single most common cause of bad output in long sessions. Know these cold. Everything up to here has been this thing working on its own. But how does it know your rules? How do you tell it to always run tests before committing? Or never touch the database config? That's what configuration is for. Think of the .claude directory as the employee handbook for your project. It tells your AI worker what the team rules are, where the tools live, and what not to touch. Without it, every session starts with a blank slate. With it, every session starts with your conventions already loaded. There are two places configuration lives. The project directory, that's shared with your team through Git. And your home directory, that's personal, applies to every project you work on. On the left, your project folder. The instruction file sits at the root. The .claude folder inside holds permissions, skills, and agents that the whole team shares. The local settings file is auto-get-ignored. That's where you put personal overrides. On the right, your home folder. Personal preferences, your own skills and agents, keyboard shortcuts, and auto memory. That's where it remembers things about each project. The .claude.json file is app state, OAuth tokens, and UI settings. Never edit that one by hand. Here are the files that matter most. The instruction file, project, and global scope loaded every session. Settings.json, permissions, hooks, environment variables. The local version is auto-get-ignored for your private overrides. .mcp.json, that's where you configure external service connections for the team. Skills and agents go in their own folders. And the .claude.json in your home directory holds OAuth state. Never edit that manually. Use /config or the command line tools instead. When something feels off, it's not following your rules, it can't see a skill, a connection isn't working, use these diagnostic commands. /context shows you what's eating your token budget. /memory shows which instruction files actually loaded. /skills lists available skills. /mcp shows connected servers and their status. /permissions shows your current allow and deny rules. And /doctor runs a full diagnostic of your setup. Get familiar with these. They're the first thing you reach for when something doesn't work the way you expect. Same idea as before, but for configuration. Get these wrong, and your whole team pays for it. First pitfall, putting your personal preferences in the project settings file. Your favorite model, your preferred tool defaults. Now the whole team is forced to use them. Instead, put personal settings in the local settings file or in your home directory. The project file is for team-wide rules only. Second pitfall, hard-coding API tokens in your connection config. That file gets committed to Git. Now everyone with repo access has your keys. Instead, use environment variable references, $, curly braces, variable name. The system substitutes the real value at runtime. No secrets in Git. Ever. Third pitfall, ignoring the .claude directory entirely. Without it, every session starts with zero context. No team rules, no project conventions, nothing. Instead, at minimum create an instruction file with your coding standards. It takes 2 minutes, and it saves hours of repeated explanations across every future session. Here's your decision framework for this module. When you want it to act, not just talk, that's the agentic loop. When you need different capabilities, that's the 5 tool categories. When you pick the right brain for the job, that's matching models. When the output quality drops, check the context window. When you want persistent rules, configure the .claude directory. Get those 5 straight, and you'll get far. Next time we cover /commands, 55 built-in shortcuts, plus how to create your own. See you in Module 3.